Hello everyone and welcome back again to another video. Yes, I love doing videos on the internet. I'm that guy who literally predicted this would happen in 15 years. It's kind of like poker. All in. Are you sure, Zarin? All in. Got nothing. All in. Are you sure? All in. Got nothing. Okay, all in this time. Now you gotta be really sure now. You have to be really sure now. All in. Do it. This time I'm sure. All in. Boom. Now you see it. People like now look what Manus people like that. I've done my Manus review, some other people are doing it. But now, as they say, it's all in. As they say, how products and how stuff is perceived. Like, look at the Super Bowl, prime example. Super Bowl. I'm going into this. The Super Bowl was streamed on Netflix and Prime and Disney Plus and all that type of stuff. The only way you could watch the Super Bowl was obviously to go to the Super Bowl, which that's another thing within itself. Some people still do. But you literally had to have cable TV. Like you literally had to watch it on like Fox Sports or ESPN or what else is there? NBC. Like you had to watch it somehow. But that's how you could watch it. Like you couldn't like rewatch it. Obviously Netflix you can just rewatch it because it'll probably end up being up. But like the same thing like with UFC and all these other sporting events, the only way you could do it was either going there or tuning into the cable channel at that time. Now you can just go online, you can watch it on YouTube, there's people streaming, and there's all these different ways. But yeah, I'm all in. And now, as they say, it's all about exactly that, the internet. Like you can be a very, very smart guy, and there's probably a lot of smart people out there just like me or maybe even smarter. I don't know that. But they're not on the internet. So their idea isn't really much. So like that's what it is. Like nowadays people say, oh, the internet. No. The internet is the biggest friggin' status symbol on the planet now. Like I was discussing something with someone and they were saying, oh, the internet, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I was telling them, I was watching this YouTuber a year or two ago and talking to one of his buddies, and after now, people ask, what do you want to do when you want to grow up? Most people say doctors, lawyers. I want to be I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a TikToker. I want to do all this stuff. But that's how it is. It's changed. So that's the point here. The whole point is that's the way it is. Like most people, marketing, like PR firms and everything, like a lot of them are now going into internet advertising. Except if you're in the Mediterranean or anything like that, or even in Europe, they're so more traditional. They still want to see people. They still want to talk to you. That's not going to end up so well in the next 6 months or even a couple of not next quarter. Like more people are just going to go all in like on the internet. Like it's that's it. Like that's the way it is. Like I remember before I started getting back into this, I saw job postings for being a TikTok influencer. I shit you not. This was on LinkedIn and all this type of stuff. LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, all these places. And I'm like, motherfucker, I remember when this was a fucking conspiracy theory. So I'm like, damn, like they're looking for people. So like that's what it's all about. Like as they say, like it's all as they say. Most people say the biggest way to go to school, get a job. Okay, to go to school, get a job, and work for I don't know Coca-Cola or whatever X company it could be. That's great, but then they're gonna say, I work. Okay, that's great, bro. But how much influence do you have? What's your TikTok reel status? What's your X following? How many views do you have on YouTube? What's your subscriber count, bro? well, okay, but now let's say Mr. Beast, or let's say whoever, Sally Joe or Sally Jane or whoever. I'm giving you an example. Just insert X template name. Then, but they have this. They're more important than you. Look how they're talking about our brand. Look how, yeah, exactly, because that's the way it is now. Because the majority of the world, not like some other people who don't, but like the business world and just other people that like now, before you even buy something, including myself, I go to an influencer and I see, like, for example, like I got this microphone. It's a Blue Yeti. It's like one of the best in the industry. They're like top notch. Logitech bought them out a couple of years ago, but Blue Yeti, fucking amazing. Like, I'm talking about your ultra high class. So I went in. This was before the influencer thing came. So I used to follow a couple of Twitch influencers, and all of them were repping, get the Blue Yeti, bro. Get the Blue Yeti, bro. Get the Blue Yeti, bro. That's all I used to hear. Blue Yeti, Blue Yeti, Blue Yeti. The ads before we had ad blockers for such and such is sponsored by Blue Yeti. So I'm just like, okay, I need to get a blue microphone. I got a blue Snowball. First one, it was good. It was freaking amazing. Later on, I got rid of it. And it's because I got a Blue Yeti. So, got the Blue Yeti. My God, is it freaking amazing. Yeah, because an influencer told me to do it. I did my research too. Obviously, not going to buy it blindly. I still wanted to know what's about. I went on to some like tech review channels. I saw like Linus Tech Tips and all these other guys talking about the Blue Yeti. And it's like, okay, I'm going to look into it. I'm going to invest. So I did. And then obviously they're saying if you want your voice to sound a little bit better, so you can get a pop filter. So I found a pretty good pop filter. I got that too. But there you go, influencers. This is before, but that's the whole point of all that. So, okay, so back to the template. But I'm just kind of giving the example of all that due to the fact that like it's just one of those things where people still say, "Oh, I'm so skeptical about the internet." That's it. It's here to stay. You can be as skeptical as you want, but that's the way it is now. So back to the template. A little bit of a longer intro, but you know how, again, I go on my tangents sometimes and stuff like that. But it does relate to all this. So template right here. So we're doing another template, and okay, so we're doing a barbershop template. So this is for another former client. Here in the Mediterranean, not so many people are into the whole, again, it's more elderly people, going back to influencers. They're not really so much into the influence. They just want to do their stuff, just do that, and who cares? But obviously, America and Asia, some other European countries, more developed countries like Ireland, England, UK, all that, yeah, they're into all that. Like I know lots of people have family members, and it's cousins and everything, and they're all like, oh yeah, Jenna Marbles or PewDiePie. Here it's just like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna party or do something, I want to enjoy life, whatever that's supposed to mean. So but okay, take barbershop template. So this is the funny thing. This is a little funny thing. So I said, hey, can you please make me a world famous barbershop template? I want to add some more stuff. So you know what it did? So ChatGPT is sometimes fried. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. So it made me a website. I'm just like, bro, no, I want the template. So I said, can you please make a template on a website? So it took the website and then it turned it into a template right here, as you can see. But I'll show the website a little bit later because, again, this is kind of like, as I say, it was a mistake, but ironically, that mistake turned out to be interesting because now I can show you how to copy the code, fix it up with Claude, and maybe throw it into Manus later on. But I have a couple of set videos. But so you type that in. This is just world famous, but if you want more detail, you would type in world class and world renowned. So like it all depends on how fancy you want it too. Again, AI is only as good as the directive you put into it. It's like a dog. Like the example I keep on using in all the other videos, it's like a dog. It's like a dog. You gotta train it. Dog. Okay, like for example, like if I had a dog, I would call it Ice Cube, just like the rapper. There's a little rapper called Ice Cube. Don't pee in the apartment. And you keep on telling him not to pee in the apartment, and you keep on showing him, you go out and you pee. You go out and you pee. And then eventually my dog will learn how to, well, he'll learn not to pee in the apartment, of course. But that's what it is. Like I keep on saying, like I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog, like for the example. So I did that, and then I did this. Okay, so here's your world famous template. Insert barbershop name, tagline, precision cuts, and timeless style. This was a little bit a logo branding. So you wanted it to be luxury because obviously it's famous, it's high class, it's upper echelon. All the fancy people go to it. Vintage barbers, obviously something vintage because obviously it's fancy, it's real famous. Elegant name with certain like how do you say, fonts. Some slogan ideas, a cut above the rest, where style meets mastery, sharp look, sharp mind, because this is a barbershop, as I say, it's for people, for men to get groomed and everything. You're not. So it's kind of like a version of like how women go to nail salons. So something along those lines. So services offered. So you got signature haircuts, or something modern, or you got classic, modern, or custom. So something classic. So like maybe like something like an old school haircut from maybe like the 60s or 70s. You got something more modern, like a buzz cut, which is very easy military haircut. It's universal, it's modern, it's easy, boom, done. Or something custom, like, hey, I have an idea, I saw this new trend on the internet, I would like to try it. So there you go. Shop design. So this is for design, dark wood, leather chairs, vintage mirrors. So this is more famous. This is for, he wanted, the previous client wanted something more vintage, something more classic, something like Boardwalk Empire. If you haven't watched Boardwalk Empire, you've been living under a rock, just to let you know. Lighting, obviously warm and ambient, a nice decor. So barber tools, obviously we have like, for example, like, for our outline, if anyone else wants to, like, so like we have all these certain clientele, like we only serve the upper echelon celebrities or high-end people. Pricing guide, classic haircut equals X amount of dollars, depending on whatever the country you're in. Obviously always adjust for inflation because you don't want to be burning money. Beard and trim shave. There's a grooming package. So let's say for a grooming package, you get a haircut, get your beard shaved, all that type of stuff for, let's say, $100 or whatever it could be. Special features, you have an online booking system, obviously because everything's online, unless I told you you're in Europe, you want to see people and all that, but again, online. So book online through the app or book online through whatever it could be. There's a membership program. There's a VIP program. So if you get 4 or 5 haircuts, then you get 30% off the 6th or whatever it could be. Unmatched experience. So obviously you got, maybe it's a little bit more upper class. Maybe they give you a nice bottled water, 1907. Or they give you like nice, or they give you a nice coffee or something like that. Like, you know, because it's the upper class. It's all the snobby people. And then obviously we have like maybe a website or like kind of like how, or like we're partnered with a newsletter saying that, hey, here are some tips for you to, you know, keep your beard so you can maintain it a lot easier, or for the barber to make it a lot better, more precise, or whatever it could be. And then obviously you would have your testimonials. So example, dummy testimonials. This is the best haircut I ever had. Unmatched experience and luxury service. A true gentleman's experience. And obviously, I keep on saying, your social media. As I say, if you're not on the internet, you don't exist. I've already shown that in another template. As I say, it's all about how many likes you have. It's all about your how many followers you have, all that type of stuff. What's your Instagram? Facebook. Facebook not so much, but maybe TikTok or something. But just for the sake of the example, there's Facebook. But what's your website? At such and such at whatever.com. What's your phone number? Because again, phone number, maybe, as they say, this is the Mediterranean, but obviously online, like in other places like America or Asia, you would just have just your website, book off my website, or book off of whatever, like I told you with the McDonald's type of thing that I did with the system. So, and what's your location? So now let's say you live 10 minutes away. You live 10 minutes away, you can just say, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm here for a haircut. Oh, where do you live? I live like 5 minutes down the street. Okay, cool. You don't have to book online because you live 5 minutes down the street. But even if you do, maybe you do want to book online because maybe that days are a little bit more hectic. Maybe you got a lot of clients, or maybe you have a lot of meetings, or whatever it could be. Calling, as I said, it's only for it feels like calling only is like for Europe, but like as I said, in Asia you book online, stuff like that. Even in America. But this is part one of the videos. I have like other ones and other templates. I'll show you like the website, and after I'll show you how to do all of this. This is like one of those longer videos, but it's like those how-tos. But like I'm just gonna put obviously part one, but there's more to it. How to do part one and then part two, and then we'll be getting into it. As I say, like this is. The other ones were a little bit more easier, but this one, ChatGPT gave me a little bit more, so I might as well do a little bit more because, as I say, it's worth doing more because, as I say, at the end, the result will be freaking amazing, and obviously, as I said many times, this is what I like doing, so I don't mind going the extra mile. But get ready for a couple of other parts. And don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, Mr. Z out.